Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Friday, in hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I'm that old corporate grinder dude that used to be in a call center environment for many years, worked 12, 14, 16 hour days, and did it 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And yeah, sometimes I think back to those days, and it's a while that I used to do that until my pancreas quit on me, left me unemployable, can't get a job, and with nothing to fall back on. And that really sucked. That sucked. So now it kind of redirected me to this online space and this gig economy space. And so now I help folks just like you, just like me, to start a side gig. And we grow it using social media. So if you've ever been serious or curious, or you kind of want to do something, don't know what to do, where to start, drop the word side gig in the comments, and I'll get back with you after this live. If you're joining me live, would love to know where you're tuning in from. Would be awesome. Hey, don't mind me. I got my little robe on, and we are live on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Let's go. So I I I tune into this teaching. Okay, let's start there. I tune into this teaching by Graham Cook. I don't know if you know who Graham Cook is. He's only been preaching for like, I don't know, 50 years, 60 years, and he's amazing. But if you know of Graham Cook, drop the word Graham in the comments. And let me know if you know him and what you think of him. All that. I only know him. Yeah, it's been a year now. It's been almost a year since I got to know him, and he is amazing. But he has his teachings under one umbrella, under one app, and that's like a Christian mentorship program, and it's awesome. And I subscribe to that, and there's so many lessons and stuff like that. But I honestly don't have time to put in that much into it, so I plug in maybe 10-15 minutes, because each teaching, they're broken down in chunks, like 10 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, so it's doable, it's in chunks, right? By the way, if you like to try it out for like 5 days, 5 day trial, drop the word five in the comments, and I'll send you a link. You can check it out for a few days. And so I plug into his teachings. I've been really enjoying the way he teaches and he speaks. And then now this year he does a 3 day event, and that 3 day event now it's happening twice a year. So today was the first day of his second 3 day event this year. Try to say that 5 times. And what a first day, right? I mean, now this is intensive. This is pretty much all day, right? Did I get something? Yeah, what? Thank you for the love and the heart and the gift. You are the best. So, um, this is like intensive, right? It's all day. Don't mind my robe, by the way. If you're new, it's all like, who's this guy wearing a robe? I'm just chilling. I don't claim to be like a monk or anything, you know. Um, so anyway, Graham Cook, brilliant, brilliance. Um, Fall is the event, and today was the first day. And He was speaking, Dion was speaking, Dion's wife, and Graham's wife, and there were a couple things dropped. I mean, there were so many things that were said, but there were two things that really got my attention, like really got my bear was up. It really got my attention, right? First one, it's interesting because last night I was talking about being in peace in chaos, right? Just experiencing peace and trying to be at peace. And then, I mean, obviously, I didn't know what they're going to talk about. And today they were talking about peace. It was kind of cool. Anyway, he was talking about peace and how you can take a little break and rest and whatnot. And then Dion asked Graham, I love this. He goes, so what do you think about this whole idea of resting and stuff like that? Thank you, Bear. You were the best. And Graham says, I love this. He says, there's no snoring in rest. Think about that. There's no snoring in rest, meaning you're not supposed to fall asleep foreverness and call it, oh, I'm resting. You're not supposed to lose action. You're not supposed to not be in action and call it, oh, I'm resting. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm resting. You know, there's no snoring in rest. I thought that was so cool because so many, I know I'm guilty of this. Maybe you are too. I can't be the only one, please. Um, but I can't. I I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty of resting and falling asleep, and you know, when confronted by myself most of the time, that's when you kick yourself and you punish yourself, and you're like, well, how did I do this? And waste of time. Um, I've done that. I've snored when I'm supposed to rest. You know, so anyway, no snoring. There's no snoring in rest. The second thing that was shared, and I thought this was so profound, it was actually by Graham's wife, Teresa. She's awesome. Bear, thank you. And by the way, again, if you know who Graham Cook is, drop the name Graham in the comments. And I would love to know if anybody knows him. He's only been preaching for like 50 plus years, you know. Um, but he's amazing. He's pretty cool. And then his wife was talking, and she shared their story, her story. It was just so amazing. But then there was one thing that she said I thought was so good. She said, "What you embrace determines your starting place. What you embrace determines your starting place." What that means is this: listen, if you embrace anxiety, worry, fear, if you embrace those things, guess where you're going to start? You're going to start anxious. You're going to start worried. You're going to start in fear. You're going to be fearful of starting something, of getting something going. If you embrace procrastination, you're going to procrastinate to start. Now imagine this. Imagine the message that they shared here. And that was, what if you were to embrace God? What if you were to embrace Jesus right at the start? Because knowing that you are starting with Him. What if that was what you embraced? Then your starting point would be with Him. I thought that is so cool. Not only so cool, but so cool, right? Because I'm trying to think for myself, right? You go back and think, you're like, there's a lot of things that I started worried, um, anxious, fearful, like not knowing what the heck is going to happen. Am I even going to be in this thing tomorrow? Right? Thank you for all that love, Bear. Um, but I think back and I'm thinking, what if I started those things like with God? It's like you partnering up with Him instead of partnering up with worry and anxiety and fear. I thought these two things, if you put them together, and actually, that's why in the title I said I'm rethinking everything because I'm thinking if I start that with this and I embraced it. I mean, that's profound. What if you were to embrace God in everything? Wouldn't that determine your starting point? Wouldn't that be cool? That would be cool. And what if you were to rest, take a breather, but then remembered that there's no snoring in rest? Would you be more active? I think so. So these were a couple of things from three. I mean, I have so many pages of notes. I mean, this was 9 to 3. No, 8 to 3 with an hour break. So it was all day, and tomorrow and Sunday. So there's a lot coming. So I thought I'd share those couple of things with you. Drop in the comments and let me know what you thought. Let me know if you know Ground Cook. Let me know, by the way, if you want to kind of get closer to God and have like a fresh perspective, like this kind of stuff, like Graham he teaches. Um, I I tune into this app and all his teachings, and so much stuff is in there. But I honestly don't have the time to listen to everything. But you take a course, let's say, right? And let's say, for example, if the course is an hour long, I'm just making it up. They have like chunks, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, of the same thing broken down. So it's really doable. You know what I mean? Um, so maybe 10 minutes a day or something like that. But it just makes you really, really, it leaves you with this really fresh taste in your mouth for the day. You know what I mean? Kathy, what's up? How are you? Good morning. Good morning. And so if you're open to that, if you want to take a look, you can actually get a 5-day trial. You can go in there, check it out for, you know, everything you want, and then decide if that's for you or not. But I really dig it. I think, we don't get enough. Well, we don't get, well, let's just use the word enough. We don't get enough um, teachings for our soul, you know. And I think that's a great place to fill, you know. So if you're open to that, if you want to take a look at this app, drop the word 5 in the comments for the 5-day trial. And then, yeah, so that was Graham Cook's first day of brilliance fall. That's the name. So with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. I appreciate you. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let me know what you thought about this. And let me know if you'd like me to share stuff like this more often. I do take a bunch of, classes, courses, stuff like that. Throughout the day, I try to stay fresh, and I can share some takeaways. So let me know what you think. Anyway, with that, with that. I know you know somebody who is going to get value from this. Tag them to it. Share this live with them. And if you're not following me, I mean, I don't know why. I'm pretty awesome. I mean, look at this. I got a robe on. Let's go. Um, you can follow me on all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Threads. And I go with Side Gig Sean. With that, I am Sean Azimi. I am that ex corporate grinder dude that was in a call center environment for many, many years and put in 12, 14, 16-hour days, 6 days a week. Sorry, sometimes 7 days a week. The weird thing is, uh, I think it was a week ago, somebody hopped on here and said, "Oh, I used to work in that office with you." That was kind of fun. That was cool. And so until my pancreas quit on me, shut down, left me unemployable. That's the key word. I can't get a job because of my pancreas. And with nothing to fall back on, try hitting rock bottom like that. Both your health and your income gone. Sucks. So I got redirected to this whole online space, the gig economy. And now I help folks just like you, just like me, to start a side gig online, and we grow the business using social media. So, if that resonates with you, if you've thought about it before, if you're serious or curious or whatever, you just want to kind of know what's going on online, what are the options, then drop the word side gig in the comments and I'll get back with you after this live. And again, like I said, last night I vented out, but I'll be brief tonight. But if you're dropping the word side gig in the comments, be prepared to have a conversation about a side gig. Like that should be common sense. I mean, I don't know. I would think. But hey, with that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.